On Monday, House DFL leaders held a press conference unveiling their proposed tax and E-12 omnibus bills. DFLers say the tax bill would raise $1.2 billion in new revenue, largely by taxing corporations' foreign profits, and invest it in education, healthcare, and safe and inclusive communities.
All Minnesota children deserve a world-class education, but years of Republican trickle-down economics and tax cuts for corporations and the wealthy have left our schools underfunded. Without stronger state funding, class sizes will continue to increase, teachers will continue to be laid off, and our school districts will have no choice but to go to local property taxpayers just to fund the basics. Our Minnesota Values budget invests in education to strengthen our workforce and support our students.
This tax bill is about building a great future for Minnesota. And it sets the foundation for being able to find those resources to invest in those really important things we need to do in this state, and that is education and healthcare and public safety.
DFLers also announced that they propose to invest $900 million in E-12 education, approximately 3/4 of the new revenue raised by their tax bill.
There are provisions in this bill that will help us deliver for the students in our classrooms. The final product you see before you includes a reduction in special education paperwork, improvements on how teachers are licensed, tweaks to the board that does the licensing, and ways to increase teachers of color in our classroom. It requires and funds increased training for our teachers and school staff around mental health, suicide prevention, dyslexia, and much more.
Later that afternoon, a conference committee reached agreement on the proposed distracted driving bill. Sponsored by Representative Frank Hornstein, House File 50 would require Minnesota drivers to use hands-free technology when making calls or sending messages behind the wheel. Conferees hashed out the differences, and the proposal was overwhelmingly repassed, as amended by Conference Committee during Tuesday's House floor session.
The heartache that we felt when we were hearing this bill over and over were the heartache of the people that had lost friends and family and relatives to distracted driving accidents. They were the ones that moved this bill forward. They were the ones that changed hearts and minds on this legislation. Members, we know this bill will save lives. We know it has had dramatic impact in other states where it was passed. We will become the 17th state, plus the District of Columbia, to pass this bill into law, and we will have safer roads because of it.
Governor Tim Walz signed the bill into law on Friday. Minnesota will be the 18th state to require hands-free cell phone use, and the law will take effect August 1st. On Tuesday, the House Capital Investment Division released a $1.5 billion bonding proposal. Roads and bridges, along with the state's public colleges and universities, are among the largest fund recipients in the bill, but there is support for many projects throughout the state, both large and small.
This is truly a statewide, regional, county, city, township, Minnesota proposal. A proposal for Minnesota. A proposal to connect Minnesotans and fix the problems throughout the state that are ongoing.
Representative Dean Erdahl, who chaired the Capital Investment Committee last session, offered praise for certain provisions of the bill, but was cautious of the price tag.
In a general sense, obviously there are a lot of good things that you've put on this bill. I think the key for us is a lot.
It was deadline week at the House, and ahead of the third and final committee deadline, the House Ways and Means Committee approved a number of omnibus finance proposals, including the omnibus transportation proposal. Representative Frank Hornstein sponsors House File 1555, which would spend more than $7.2 billion on transportation infrastructure over the upcoming biennium. The bill includes a proposal to raise the state's per-gallon gas tax by 5 cents in each of the next 4 years, and have it automatically change with the rate of inflation in years after that. This did not sit well with some Republicans.
This ambitious transportation bill is really a shift to reverse for motorists and makes Minnesota one expensive place to drive.
Representative Hornstein defended the proposed tax increases, citing the damage that Minnesotans are experiencing to their vehicles when driving on the crumbling roads. There will be no legislative activity this week, but the omnibus jobs and education finance proposals are calendared for the House floor session on Tuesday, April 23rd. Representative Tim Mahoney has said that the jobs proposal will impact working Minnesotans all over the state. Included in the proposal is some of the DFL values initiatives. Representative Halverson's Paid Family and Medical Leave Act, Representative Lesch's Earned Sick and Safe Time bill, and Mahoney's wage theft proposal are all included. Some members shared their disappointment with the omnibus jobs proposal. Here's Representative Pat Garofalo, who served as chair of the committee last year.
But let's be very clear that what we have here are spending increases financed by tax increases in an unsustainable fashion.
The other omnibus proposal that is expected to be up for debate on the floor after the week-long break, House File 2400, the Omnibus Education Finance Bill. Representative Jim Davney, chair of the House Education Finance Division, spoke earlier this month about some of the initiatives found in the proposal.
By investing in ensuring that every Minnesota student has access to a world-class education, the Minnesota House DFL proposes a budget that increases per pupil funding by 3% this coming school year and an additional 2% the following year. It addresses school district cost drivers so that they can plan better and provide more stable programming for students. It provides access to high-quality preschool and early learning opportunities. It prioritizes the needs of students and teachers, including academic and social supports, staff development opportunities, full-service community schools, and strengthening teacher of color recruitment and retention.
For more nonpartisan coverage of the Minnesota House of Representatives, check out our Session Daily coverage on the House website, www.house.mn/sessiondaily.